I'm Naomi Morris-Awodikoven. I'm the managing lawyer at MDK Business Law. And as part of Canada's 150th birthday celebration, we were thinking at the beginning of the year, what can we do as a firm to help celebrate Canada's birthday? And we thought, because of our group of clients, which range from startups all the way to medium-sized businesses, what better way than to celebrate the unsung heroes in our city, often the ones that are working really hard but are under the radar and a little bit unrecognized. What better way to celebrate Canada's birthday than to recognize them in a fashion? And we thought maybe a video series would be the best way to do that.
My name is Bharat Rudra, and I'm a co-founder of the Ottawa chapter of TIE, and I'm the current chair. This project started about a year and a half back when we were thinking about what should we be doing as a TIE organization for entrepreneurship in Ottawa and to salute entrepreneurs in Ottawa. And in January or February, I had a chat with Naomi. Naomi is a charter member at TIE Ottawa, and the sort of synergies came together, and we extended the projects not just to highlight few entrepreneurs, and we said we're going to highlight minimum of 100 entrepreneurs from Ottawa. So that's where the project started, and this is the joint effort between MDK Business Law Services and TIE Ottawa to highlight and to celebrate entrepreneurship in Ottawa.
Hi, I'm Jim Watson, Mayor of the City of Ottawa. I want to thank MDK Business Law and TIE Ottawa chapter for this great initiative to celebrate Canada's 150th birthday by focusing on 100 great entrepreneurs from Ottawa. Ottawa is often thought of as a government town, but in fact, when you peel back the government layer, you realize we have a very vibrant spirit of entrepreneurship in the high-tech sector and tourism and the service industry. And I hope you enjoy these features on these 100 great entrepreneurs. I'm very proud of the work that we've done at the City of Ottawa to make it easier for entrepreneurs to thrive in our community and export their great talent and knowledge and products around the world. So enjoy these snapshots of these great entrepreneurs. Thank them for taking the risks and creating the economic activity that we enjoy here in the City of Ottawa, and it's a real pleasure to introduce this video. And this is also going to be in a time capsule, so it'll be interesting to see if we have the technology 50 years from now to actually even watch this video. So maybe we're speaking to the future, maybe not, but all the best, and thank you again, TIE, for the great work that you do, and MDK Business Law. Take care.
We had this vision that we wanted to get the power of DNA testing everywhere. So every hospital, doctor's office, pharmacy, and ultimately your home. So we spent 11 years building towards that dream.
In order to be heard and to be felt and to be seen, I think you need to be big. I don't mean your business needs to be big, your idea needs to be big. It needs to matter. What is it about what you're trying to sell me makes it worth my time to do all the work that it's going to take me to do to actually purchase it?
I think a big motivator for me and for us as a company is to continue building technology that can help to deliver the promise of technology. In the last couple of decades, there's so much talk of what technology can do, and a lot of organizations feel like technology's failed them somewhat. And I think we're really driven to help organizations embrace technology and show them how it really can help.
Entrepreneurship, especially technology entrepreneurship, is really like an expedition. We are setting out on a path to discover El Dorado somewhere behind the next bend in the river in the Amazon jungle, and you never know what you're going to meet behind that bend. And that's what technology venture is all about, because there are great promises, but also many unknowns, many risks, and many threats on the way.
This is the Spartan Cube. It's the world's smallest DNA analyzer. It fits in the palm of your hand, and it provides you instant DNA results. Put in perspective, this replaces a large lab device that's the size of a table and costs hundreds of thousands of dollars. So you can put in different cartridges for different tests. So for example, if you want to test for strep throat, or test for influenza, or for food and water safety testing, you have a different cartridge, put a different sample in, you put it into the box, you hit go, and then you get your DNA result. Now, wherever you want, you can put a DNA sample in and get results in minutes, as opposed to when you used to have to wait for a lab, you'd have to send your sample off, and it would take weeks or months to get your result back.
iBionics is solving a big world problem. We have a solution called the Diamond Eye to return sight to the blind. And the way it works is we start with a minuscule video camera that's placed on a set of glasses, and that video camera will capture a scene. And then we send data from that camera back through a pocket processor, and that powers a laser on the side of the eyeglasses and sends power and data to the back of the eye, where we surgically place a very tiny little chip. From that chip, we're sending little pulses of electricity to speak to our neural network in the back of the eye.
I consider myself a bit of a technology serial entrepreneur and early stage specialist. Yourself walking through, for example, a retail of some kind, an apparel store or something like that, and be able to find what you're very looking for. So a shirt of a certain size, pants of a certain size, jeans of size, whatever, and be able to navigate and find them their location just simply by looking on your smartphone. It's a kind of venture where a lot of the past experience adds up. So we have a team of people who've been there, done it before.
We're a digital workshop, and we're also the founders of Wicket, a data management platform that is specifically developed to integrate SaaS software together. Here in 2017, there's such a vibrant entrepreneurial community here in Ottawa that really just brings energy to the city. One of the things that Ottawa really offers entrepreneurs is connections and network. Ottawa is a city of close to 1 million people, but really feels more like a small town. You're only a few degrees of separation from people that are really smart. And I think that's something that we get here in Ottawa that larger cities don't get, is just that ability to make connections. It's a fantastic place to be running a business, to be starting a business. It's so exciting to see how many startups there are, how many positive things there are happening. And I couldn't think of a better place to be running our business.
If you have a passion, if you have this enthusiasm for what you do, people will buy into it. And any business needs to get connected to people. So when you show your appreciation, your enthusiasm, your passion for your business, whatever business you're in, that will help you become much more successful in the end.
I started the business to help people, particularly people who are on boards of directors and who are struggling with the same issues that I struggle with. And so in my down moments I think, okay, Pat, why are you doing this? Who are you going to help? And then I tell myself, I'm trying to help myself. I'm on my own board. I want to make it better for me, as well as the hundreds of thousands of people who serve on their boards. And when I remind myself of that, I then tell myself, no, you can't quit yet. You have to keep going until you get that solution in place.
There's going to be days where you just want to put your head on the desk and cry and say, that's it, I'm going to go back and work for a salary. I just can't deal with this anymore. But you just got to, get past that. Say, okay, it's just a bad point, and we'll just carry on.
We're helping you overcome obstacles. How is it that we can try and relate that to life? So you may walk in here with I can't do those monkey bars. Well, guess what? If your goal is to do those monkey bars, we can make that happen. And if you can translate those physical acts into your everyday life, essentially we're overcoming life's obstacles or life's challenges, one obstacle at a time.
I'm the founder of Sax Appeal, and it's Canada's premier saxophone ensemble. But an all saxophone band is not very common. So I started going to a lot of networking events around the Ottawa region to get gigs. And it turned into another business called eSax. And that brings together hundreds of small business owners with collaboration within and amongst the chambers of commerce in the area.
My business is all about helping the boards of directors of condos and not-for-profits get their work done better, easier, and faster. So we're looking at helping out those volunteer boards of directors along with their administrators, such as property managers or executive directors. It should be easy. Why can't it be easy? We have technology. And that's what I'm trying to do, is apply a tech solution to a pain point.
It defines what your company is. It defines your value, what you're offering. It ultimately defines who your customer is, how much you charge them. It really is sort of the defining aspect of your business. When you think about your personal brand, it's who you are.
And we are Ottawa's first and only obstacle training facility. Essentially, this is where you go to become Batman. We knew that with Spartan Race there was that community, and the obstacle course racing community is so big and so giving, and they wanted this place. And that's the thing, is that what is it that we can do as business owners to try and make our community a better place?
I've lived and breathed entrepreneurship since 2011, and I learned so much on what it means to start a business, to create a market. It's a lifestyle. It's not a job, because I love what I do. So why would I clock out at 5 o'clock? No, I work all the time, but it's not work.
It takes a certain person to do it. You have to be very stubborn. You have to have ambition. You have to be very good at what you do. And when everything looks like it's going down the tubes, just pause, breathe, it'll come back.
An inventor works in a different paradigm, which is to create something unique, something new, something interesting, something beneficial, something saves money or saves life for a customer. And to see that on the shelf, it's like a proud moment.
It's really focused on doing good work. It's not really about money. You know, I think because we deeply care about every project that we work on, I think that's why we've been successful, is because we work with people who also care.
Souvent, le commentaire qu'on me fait, c'est on me dit est-ce que faire son épicerie en mode zéro déchet, c'est difficile? Est-ce que c'est pas compliqué? C'est souvent ce que pensent les gens, que c'est un petit peu compliqué. Et je voudrais démystifier un petit peu ça, c'est-à-dire que c'est pas compliqué, c'est juste un petit peu différent. Et comme toutes les choses différentes, il faut s'y habituer.
The idea is to try and welcome everybody and see if they can start to convert their life to a healthier lifestyle. Really going mainstream with health sustainability, that's been the key. That's really been the key, I think, to allow us to be successful to date.
In any society or any city, the entrepreneurs drive the economy, because they take a problem, solve it, and create opportunity for everybody else.
I think it's really important for us as a species to understand how environmental impacts are affecting us, and what we're doing to create those environmental impacts and what we can do to mitigate them. So the communication side of that information is critical, because if we don't know what the issues are, we don't know how to fix them. So our company is really filling that role of trying to get that information into people's hands, into decision makers' hands, to make good environmental decisions.
Aujourd'hui, quand on fait l'épicerie, on est presque condamné à faire une épicerie qui crée beaucoup de déchets. C'est très difficile aujourd'hui de faire ses courses sans créer une montagne de déchets. Absolument tout est emballé. En général, tout est emballé dans du plastique qui va à la poubelle. Dans le meilleur des cas, on peut le recycler, mais il y a une grande partie de nos déchets plastiques qui vont tout simplement à la décharge. Donc moi-même, j'ai commencé à adopter un mode de vie zéro déchet il y a à peu près 1 an et demi. Et je me suis heurtée à cet obstacle, le fait qu'on puisse pas avoir un magasin dédié un petit peu à l'épicerie zéro déchet. Donc j'ai trouvé des endroits ici à Ottawa où je pouvais acheter mes aliments en vrac, où je pouvais même apporter mes propres contenants, mais c'était plusieurs endroits différents et je trouvais que c'était vraiment une difficulté logistique d'aller de 4, 5, 6 endroits différents mon samedi quand je fais les courses. Et c'est là que m'est venue l'idée. C'est là que je me suis dit, ça serait super d'avoir une épicerie où je peux trouver tout ça à un seul endroit.
So we started this store, I'm going to say 5 years ago, and we set it up so we can make it easier for people to change their lives over to a healthier lifestyle. So this is a department store for healthier, more sustainable products for your home. Easy for us is really helping people save time to make a conversion, but also to stay with a healthier lifestyle. So we have such a huge variety of products here that it's hard to say that you can't find something that works for you.
At the global stage, Canada has so much to offer. And the world can learn a lot from Canada in terms of the way that we deal with issues of diversity and pluralism and multiculturalism. I think the fact that we value that as opposed to trying to make everybody the same is a model for the planet.
Sometimes you want to change the world, but the world doesn't want to change. That's what I take it. But aim to change the world. I mean, set your goals high, aim to change the world, and in the end, if you can just change your neighborhood or one person's life, and still that is an achievement.
What we have is this wonderful community of people, and we have a great loyalty of customers that continue to come into our store, and multiple generations that have grown up with this business.
It's been great for us as a family to experience this all together, and you know, our wins are our family celebrations, and that's a really special thing.
I was raised in here, so basically my father's been in the industry forever. Even my no-no was making wine in his garage way back in Montreal. And yeah, I've just been raised into it. It's all I've ever done.
Alors, mon frère et moi, maintenant, on est partenaires 50-50 dans une entreprise familiale. Nos enfants ont commencé dans la compagnie aussi. Alors, c'est vraiment une compagnie familiale. Ce qui est intéressant, on a vraiment la même vision. Alors, on peut travailler ensemble pour les mêmes objectifs.
Well, I started working here when I was 12, as you know, a lot of family business, and then I worked here through high school. And yeah, you grow up with it, right? Like the business is part of the family. You know, I understood that my dad was devoted to us, but also to the business. I always say there's nothing better than a hot bagel.
What I love about craft chocolate is that it really ticks all of the boxes of what I think we should be pursuing in life. So we pay, you know, higher than fair trade prices for our cacao beans. So I feel like we're supporting farmers in developing countries. Our cacao is grown sustainably. People love it. It's delicious, so it makes people happy.
People of all walks of the world enjoy wine. Wine has always been on the rise. So we get our juice from all around the world, imported from our supplier, and then we kind of finish the process here. We craft it to exactly what the client's looking for.
Alors, notre père, il a commencé une compagnie en 1976. Comme Michael a expliqué, maintenant, ce qu'on fait, c'est la gestion des actifs électriques, donc l'entretien électrique. Mais quand on a commencé en 1976, ce qu'on faisait, c'était la construction. On a construit des écoles, des hôpitaux. C'est vraiment notre passion, c'est l'électricité. Puis notre objectif, c'est de faire sûr que nos clients ils ont du courant 24/7, soit du pouvoir d'électricité 24/7. Pour moi, c'est vraiment pas avoir peur de prendre des risques, parce que c'est en prenant les risques qu'on a pu vraiment changer, diversifier notre compagnie. On est chanceux qu'on se complimente très bien dans nos forces et on a des faiblesses, mais nos forces, parce qu'ensemble, on ferait vraiment une belle équipe, puis c'est ça qui nous permet de grossir.
I'm proud of the fact that we have become this community establishment. I'm proud that we have been, that we're part of family traditions. And I'm proud of all the things that my dad has done, how hard he's worked to keep this business alive for as long as he has.
It's really about choosing the best quality cacao beans that we can find, and developing a relationship with farmers. Ottawa has been an amazing place to be because the food community here is really supportive of one another, and our customers are incredibly supportive.
It's becoming a city quite cosmopolitan with different kinds of foods, people of ethnic origins, so it opens the gamut to many opportunities.
We've always kind of stayed true to ourselves, you know, always about finding what people are looking for, what matters most to them, giving them the best service possible, and just trying to stay that step above.
Ben pour moi, être entrepreneur, vraiment, c'est l'idée, c'est de jamais arrêter. Puis même si tu te débouches ou ça marche pas pour la première fois, ben il faut toujours monter la côte et continuer.
You know, it's about the people, it's about the team, it's about the market opportunity.
People are what make the organization great. If the people that you hire can not only do a good job at the day-to-day activities that we all have in daily life of any business, but if they can also understand your mission and vision and work towards it, they're driving the entire company forward, and employees like that make all the difference in a business.
People are extremely important. You know, building a team is
You know, it's not just about work, it's about, you know, culture. It's about also surround yourself with mentors and people. Like, as a first-time entrepreneur, there's so many things you don't know and don't think you know them. Really acknowledge that you have gaps, and the only way to really succeed is to surround yourself with, you know, people who have been around the block, have more experience, and really, you know, benefit from that.
So talent management is everything you need to do to manage people in the workplace effectively. Okay, so it can start with, you know, finding the right people in the marketplace, bringing them on board, developing them, giving them feedback, performance management, career development, succession management, broad-scale workforce planning, those sorts of activities. It's really the whole life cycle for managing people from beginning to end.
The biggest enemy for most CEOs is their ego. I think that one of the things that taught me over the years is that is to push that increasingly more and more aside. It gets in the way of running a good business.
It's that desire to build something. I want to put my efforts into something that I'm contributing to on a higher level. So in effect, by acting in an entrepreneurial fashion, I'm building that business and I'm building that brand that it's bigger than me, and I'm contributing to it, but it is still a part of me, and I get a lot of satisfaction out of that.
RFPs are really tedious. They're extremely long, very complex to respond to. They require you to remember all the projects that your company did. You have to, you know, pick up the phone and know how, you know, all of your consultants, what they've done in the past. It's extremely expensive, very time consuming, so really accelerates the process by a significant factor, so you can bid more and win more. You embrace change. You know, you remain very nimble. And you adopt really a strategy where you don't expect things to stay the same for an extended period of time. And the converse also is try to keep your goal and you know, the reason why you left as an entrepreneur, well, you know, stay true to that and you know, keep it as a lighthouse and really, you know, even things change, like keep that direction.
We're seeing big changes right now, and that means a big disruption, I think, in the marketplace for how we're going to manage our workforces in the future, and that's been a big issue all along for Canada and worldwide. So keep to your vision. Eventually others will catch up. Sometimes we felt we were so far ahead of the game that nobody was listening, but that's changing, and changing big time now.
Every business these days needs marketing materials, and one of the most important marketing materials these days is your online presence, which for many years has been the web, but is now changing to a mobile platform.
The time we're going through right now is probably the most exciting time in car transformation that has ever been, certainly since the early 1900s. So we're going to see big changes in transportation technology, and I'm really happy, and I'm happy that everyone who works with me is going to be part of it.
Honor your vision and just hold that dear to your heart, and don't allow people to get in and shake that around, because it's yours and nobody can take that away.
So Stella Luna was the love child of Alessandra and I, who we met. I was traveling through Italy and we met on my first day in Rome. Gelato was our passion. We didn't have language. I didn't speak Italian, he didn't speak English, but gelato was a common ground for us. So it was kind of like, throw up your hands, I don't know what you're saying to me, let's eat gelato.
This is a dream. You need to follow your dream, and it'll be a lot of hard work, but following something that's with your heart and your passion and something that you love is better than doing something else.
I always love to share the love of music to everyone. Music plays a very important role in life, so I was very happy that I'm able to share my love of music to different families. And
I just love when people are happy about their God-given hair. So we're able to do that every day and show them the versatility and show them the beauty. I can't even really put it in words. I honestly don't think I have a strong set of words for how it makes me feel. It embodies me, I want to say. The endless possibilities to grow the countless people that I've met over the years that I've stayed in touch with internationally, being able to go anywhere in the world and find a colleague.
Say it's been an incredible journey, but not an easy one. But all of that fatigue melts in a heartbeat when you see the expression on someone's face when they taste something you made.
We're a music technology startup company making a software program to help musicians find their sound. We've got an alpha prototype version that we've seen musicians use directly in front of us, right? And they can immediately see the benefits from them. And the joy that I can see that their experience as a result of solving this problem is yet another motivating circumstance for me.
I always believe into giving back is something that I really believe in. So to me, this is very rewarding to be able to do this, and music play a big role, you know, for human being. I really believe in that. Is everybody should have an opportunity to learn music. It's like a universal language.
There are so many opportunities in 2017. It's like limitless, you know, spouts of information, limitless things that you can tap into. I think that with all the things that are, you know, kind of around us and can distract you throughout the journey, it's really important that the vision remains clear and the people that you are working with are also in alignment with that vision.
So you've got to be connected, you've got to be out in the community, you've got to be observant, you've got to be watching, talking to other local artisans. You can take a chance, and the Ottawa community is embracing enough that you don't feel as vulnerable taking those chances.
Ottawa is beginning to become very dynamic and very fast-paced city, and lots of very diverse populations.
Don't discount Ottawa. This is the place to be. Right now, there's been never a better time to be an entrepreneur in Ottawa.
The unique side of Aunt Sylvia's ice cream is definitely our specialty sundaes. We range from sweet and salty to fruity. We have all different types of flavors.
It's fun. I mean, this is a fun business to be in. So it's not just having our business, but having a beer business. I love randomly hearing, I get all sorts of texts every week of like friends that are in a bar somewhere that are like, I'm having your beer, and they send me a picture. And it's just those kinds of things, those random moments when I'm just, you know, even on a night where I'm at home with the kids or whatever, it's nice to hear that.
I always wanted to start a business, and with my sister's expertise, we kind of had both sides of creative as well as, you know, just grit to get it done. We're kind of able to complement each other, you know, she's done all the creative design of the sundaes and the logo and the branding, where I've kind of manned getting everything together, building the shop, getting the location, doing all the legal requirements.
We're craft beer fans, so we've like tossed around the idea for a while of sort of getting into it, and starting by way of contract brewing was sort of a way to dip our toe in it, so to speak, that we could try it out without committing to sort of building a physical brewery at this stage. It's great in that there's tons of people entering the craft beer scene. It's a very friendly, vibrant local scene, but I think the idea is that if we all sort of promote it, it grows the scene. More bars start to have more dedicated taps for craft beer. LCBO starts selling more craft beer, and it's kind of good for everybody.
Being able to present something to the public that you've created that's your own, that's unique, and that's special.
There's a passion and there's a give back. Everything that I've put into my companies, I've always say like the DNA at the root is that there's a CSR, there's a corporate social responsibility, and that really comes from myself as a founder. I'm really invested in tomorrow's generation. I'm really invested in who we are as a global and human community.
People are the essence of what we do.
Being leaders in sustainability means you first have to start with everyone at the table
with a mindset of how do we, not why are we. So it's really been about sitting with people looking to solve the problem, not want to tackle the problem.
Yoga is good for increasing your range of motion, so on the physical side, for flexibility, for just being more able to do your everyday things, your everyday tasks. On the mental side, it also helps to kind of center people.
I'm the proud founder of 2 Ottawa-based startups, one that started in 2009 called Sock Jock, where we take a simple sock as the formula to our madness, or our sockology, where for every pair of socks we sell, we reinvest in youth and community futures. And then the second business is new, and it's actually a global product, but it's very similar to the CAA membership card that many Canadians have grown to know if they want roadside assistance, and it's called Athletica Advantage Rewards, Athletic Protect. It's the first underwritten product brought by Lloyd's of London, where it takes an aggregation of sports policy or bulletin, but over on top of that is a rewards program.
It's always more perseverance than you'd think, always lots of hurdles, but it's also equally rewarding, sticking to your guns, sticking to your principles, especially when you're driving something that is values driven to a certain degree, is really sticking to those principles to continue to differentiate, and also then make sure that it draws to you those kind of partners that you want to be working with.
We are a professional services architectural firm with a variety of specialty skill sets in heritage conservation, so planning, design, sustainable. I'm very proud of the, if you like, the legacy that we leave. Much of our work, unlike some entrepreneurs, our work is tangible. It's a physical legacy that we leave behind, and so the opportunity to, in the long life cycle of a building or of a person's life or of a space in a city, we actually get to contribute and make a difference in the evolution of that space or place.
We're a real estate development firm focused on creating the most sustainable communities in North America, if not the world. This project, for example, we're standing at right now, ZB, it's won, I think, pretty much every award it can from various planning associations around the world as one of the best master plans on the globe. We have a great district energy plan for this project that is carbon neutral. So a lot of this project, both from a sustainability point of view, from a social point of view, from a development mix, is kind of a culmination of things we've been working towards and demonstrating a great integration of all that.
The blogs are useful to bring yoga outside of the studio. So people come in here, they get to relax and really center. But we also want to provide an experience outside the classroom so that people can keep on thinking about yoga in their day-to-day life. So this is how we kind of reach out to them, and it's our medium, if you would.
There's nothing better than that sense that what you've created as a consumable item has actually added value to somebody, whether it be on their feet or whatever, or on their phone. I think that's the coolest part, is being able to listen to that, and it gets more exciting as you grow as a company, and it's not just your family and friends that are buying your products, and it's other people, and you're like, oh my gosh, that's somebody who doesn't even know me and they like what I have, and they get that there's a give back and they want to be a part of that. So that for me is probably the biggest part.
I would say there's a kind of generous spirit too that I've come across in Ottawa that helps people get started, often through the mentorship of established businesses.
Everybody has an idea. It's whether you actually move forward with that idea, and that really defines being an entrepreneur. So it's a lot of work, but it's fun. So that's, I think, the end of the day is, would you much rather be sitting out here doing an interview with you guys, or pounding away at a little cubicle desk?
I'd say because we are young, we're really, really passionate, and we have so much ambition that sometimes we're just like go, 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 and we'll work 20 hours a day. So mentors have really made sure to use our energy and make it focus towards the right direction, and make sure that everything, every hour, every minute we spend on Wellbe is well spent to make the product take one step ahead and be closer to launching than just working to work. So that's been the biggest learning with our mentors, I'd say.
Right now in Ottawa, many new startups coming up from different angles, and we have younger generation of people now being very hungry for knowledge and entrepreneurship. So I think Ottawa right now is young and fresh, and it's the right time to actually dive in and build something.
People don't typically look at students and take them very seriously, but it's something that we've been able to overcome as a team for the last 3 years. So probably the best advice I can give you is to take a risk. There are plenty of industries in Ottawa that are thriving as a result of people standing out on the ledge.
My mentors have helped me sort of figure out all the things that I really didn't know what I needed to do to start a business, such as incorporating, insurance, licensing, finding investors, things like that. Really try to find mentors that can help you set up a good, solid base for your company, and be ready to put in a lot of time and effort into building your company.
So Wellbe is an application that helps families take care of their older loved one with the help of existing wearable technology. So pretty much Fitbit, Garmin, Apple Watch, iHealth, and we pull all the data from it, analyze it, establish their normal habits, and then as soon as we detect any changes that might represent a danger, then we'll let the family know. What we want to create at Wellbe is definitely support for the caregivers, and we thought why not actually connect every caregivers together as well. So through that we are slowly adding blogs onto it, and then eventually it will become really kind of a Facebook where all the caregivers can communicate, share their tips, share everything they're worried about, all their fears, and then help each other into providing care to their loved one, because it's extremely hard. More than 50% of the caregivers are actually facing depression. So we want to be there to support them and give them confidence every day so that they can help their loved one and not be stressed about it.
I actually own a company called Time Corporate Group. We own a magazine and a software company. So we are in the media, communication and technology industries, and we try to actually make information on people come together.
So I built this company 3 years ago when I was actually a Carleton student. We're a promotional marketing company based here in Ottawa that specializes in graphic design, promotional products, and branding solutions. Entrepreneurs are here to get the conversation going, and whether that's about marketing or starting a lifestyle brand, it's about creating new ideas. We do a lot of work with students here at Carleton, University of Ottawa, Algonquin. Now, as younger students, they're seeking out internships or entry-level jobs in companies that have been around since time. So being able to develop those relationships, whether it's on a clubs or societies level or a student government level, and then being able to branch off into their work with an advertising agency or with a government department means everything.
Coach Hub is a platform that connects athletes with private coaches. I started off as a tennis coach, and I ran into many problems sort of marketing, creating a website, and finding new customers. And then I was an athlete myself, and I wanted to become a goalie in hockey. So I was looking for private coaches, and I couldn't find the right private coach. So that's how Coach Hub came about.
I really believe entrepreneurs have shaped the city. In this building alone, I mean, there's multiple software development companies, and like I said, me myself, when I first came to Ottawa, a lot of associates and friends that I had, they often worked at Nortel, Corel, the Government of Canada, and today you ask those numerous different people where they work, a lot of them do work for small businesses now, software development or some service type or operation. So again, I think that small business and entrepreneurship has really picked up the slack and done a good job at providing jobs for residents of Ottawa.
It's surreal sometimes, kind of thinking when I started this, I was in my basement. To bring it from zero to millions of dollars in sales over the years, it boggles my mind sometimes. It's like, how the hell did I get here?
It's very easy to forget it, but there's a lot of really, really passionate people in the city, and personally, I love working with people on the way up. I've had a chance to work with a lot of celebrities. It's really great, but when you are able to move someone from I've never really made an album, to 2 years later seeing that they're on tour, that they're selling, that they're playing, they're headlining big shows, or even in opening spots at festivals, whatever that may be. You can see the impact of what you're doing, but to be able to really watch someone grow is a lot more fulfilling, and ultimately, you know, in any career, like that's what you're looking for more than just being able to say, well, I made this much money and I put a check mark next to this, to actually just see how much people develop. And Ottawa is a great city for being able to do that.
It's basically the only system that the driver will look at one place while having his head up and looking at one place and see 360 all around his truck. What is going to change the most, it's a lot of companies will realize that by having this system on the truck, it's the accident that we could save. Some initial one, and my driver had an accident and everything, and that's why I decided to do. I had to do something about this, and then I had the idea of about the mirror.
Basically, it's a software system that facilitates management of the investigative body conducting an investigation, right through to final package for court purposes.
I don't think it was a conscious decision to get into the toy business. Kind of stumbled on an opportunity and picked it up and ran with it.
So we're a full production recording studio. We do music, we do corporate work, we did the main stage recordings for Canada Day. We worked for the Junos this year, doing anything and everything for audio and video production and audio for video production.
I think if somebody really push and really think about, believe in their project and put things together now, I think it's good for everybody.
I think the greatest factor for our success was just hard work, determination, lots of expertise and integrity. Like I said, organic growth wasn't easy, but our expertise permitted people to give us the opportunities, and once given those opportunities, they were quick to realize that we were a hard-working, integrated company, and now we're into more of that reference world, whereas some of our clients are doing the selling for us.
I like the challenge of trying to make something from nothing. As an engineer, I like to build things, but you know, starting something new, that's pretty challenging, and it's a pretty interesting place to be.
You can have all the best ideas in the world, but if you don't have somebody that can execute those. So for me, it's the partnerships. Entrepreneurs put everything on the line. People don't realize how much risk an entrepreneur takes to start their business, and they risk everything. They risk relationships, they risk family, they risk money to make a vision happen. And
you can identify a problem somehow and see if you have a novel solution. That's what it is. It's a eureka moment.
A lot of obstacles will be put in your way. Follow your dreams, never say never, and just keep moving forward.
It's nice to be part of building something new, and when you can point to a new product, service, or technology and say, I had a hand in that, it feels pretty good. From an entrepreneurship perspective, from an innovation perspective, I think there's now a chance for people that are involved in innovation and entrepreneurship to kind of shape where the city of Ottawa is going.
Anytime that you're starting a new endeavor or you're trying to break in, not just go and get a job, you want to make sure there's people around to be able to support you.
You have to talk to other people, and you have to listen to contrary opinions. Sometimes it's painful to do that because you're so enthusiastic about what you're doing. But I think it's important that you get a true picture, be realistic.
My role is to get the place up and running with my partners, and then it's up to them to run it. And I can just provide hopefully nuggets of information now and then, nuggets of expertise, a shoulder to cry on, because we all need to do that. And so the best thing I can do for them is help them get set up properly, and then maintain order and by design that allows the restaurant to run smoothly and allows them to do what they do best.
I've been involved in technology for over 30 years. I've enjoyed working with startups for over half of my career, and I have a good nose for technology and innovation. And when I bumped into In-Bay Technologies, I immediately recognized that they were onto something, that this small Ottawa-based company was doing something that fundamentally could change the world. I got bitten by the entrepreneurial bug, and it was really a sense that I wanted to strike out on my own and try something new.
Well, I mean, it feels like a huge deal, right? But really what it takes is you just to flip the switch within you that says, I'm doing this, and then start knocking down the obstacles as they come. And there always are some, and that's part of the challenge. I think that's one of the things entrepreneurs are really great at, is dealing with obstacles.
It's all about the people. And it's all about sticking to your values and being true to those values in your business. And when you create a culture that is based on values, then you remain strong even during tough times.
You know, Shopify proved for everyone that doubted it that you can build a great business, a global player, while having a good team from Ottawa. And you know, the government is supporting you. The community of Ottawa is longing for more successes like Shopify.
The startup of any company is the most exciting part. It's like what you hear, they said, it's not the destination, it's the journey, and it's really true. When you go through it, it's a letdown when you finally finish and you sell and you exit. It's kind of the letdown, it's the anticlimax. It's the initial stages when you build a company and you see that you're creating something from zero that is very exciting.
So the Delphi Group's been around since 1988, and it is a strategic consulting firm that really helps businesses make better and more informed decisions around managing risk in the environment. So we work on climate change strategies, sustainability strategies with the Fortune 100 companies.
We started MindBridge. First was about solving fraud in financial statements and issues in finances and cleaning the books of companies. And more we realize that we can be a bit more ambitious, and actually we can enhance professional judgment of accountants, compliance professional, risk managers.
What's unique about Next is that this is about food memory. You're not going to find shrimp cocktails here or Caesar salads. You're not going to find that AKA go-to dishes. You're going to find food that represents 30 years of my career, and in most cases isn't the food that I served over the years, but it's the food that I've fallen in love with.
I've been in the Ottawa high-tech scene for the past 35 years. This is my 7th startup. I had a number of successful exits in between. If you look at all the activities that I've done, there are about 400 people getting up of bed each morning to go to companies that are founded or co-founded. And my contribution to the Ottawa economy is over about $500 million in salaries alone.
I think the focus should be on the entrepreneurs and the small, medium-sized businesses and creating a stable and, let's call it, sustainable financial environmentally and socially business that lasts a long time, because if you have hundreds of organizations within a city and entrepreneurs, then you create a solid community and a foundation on which to grow, rather than focusing on the 1 in 100 that's going to become this huge, successfully publicly traded organization. I think there's nothing wrong with that. I just think it's really important to focus on those entrepreneurs and the small and medium-sized business to grow and to be sustainable financially, environmentally, and socially.
Everyone here has that pragmatic resolve. It's like if they commit themselves to do something, they grind through it. They wait for the spring to come, type of thing, and they're not as sensitive and flimsy and delicate as some personalities I've met in other tech ecosystem.
What's most rewarding about being a chef or a restaurateur is having the ability to showcase to people what I love. Coming back to Canada after traveling 6 years, why wouldn't I want to come back to Canada? It's so awesome, it's multicultural. I can present food that there is no one singular demographic that represents my dining room. It's cultures from all over the place, people exposing themselves to so many very different types of dishes.
I am really happy to say that I am Canadian, very happy to say that I really appreciate our political leaderships in Ottawa from the top all the way to the bottom, the way they recognize immigrants and the way they treat us.
I came to this country about 50 years ago as an immigrant, as a student actually, to study, and after study I decided to stay back. And here I am, after 50 years I'm still here and working away.
Everybody's got an amazing story, and we have to give the respect to hearing who people are. And I think that's the biggest lesson I've learned, is just giving the time to hear the stories where people come from and who they are.
We feel like we are sharing our culture. We bring a little piece of Mexico in Cuba, in Latin America, and show it to the people here in Canada.
We have 12 different flavors per day, and it's practically a single portion of a very, very nice gourmet cake, a slice of a cake. Never stay still where you think that this is your product. You are really happy, you have a lot of customers, really content. You have to always keep researching, keep looking, and try to bring in other products.
I have learned basically to be persistent, to keep going, to have faith in you, to have faith in the system, and continue pushing. There will be ups and downs, there will be some changes, there will be some obstacles, but face them and try to solve the problems and continue pushing ahead.
Our purpose as we make our films and television productions and so forth is to use media as a catalyst for social change. Through things like humor, or through values that matter, like family, for example. Those transcend all boundaries that we create, these artificial boundaries that we create.
We play music, Mexican music, and all different type of music, because we've been involved in so many different cultures.
We're happy to show what we do, what we are glad to do, and hopefully we can see you in one event and dancing or music.
As an immigrant, my desire was to establish myself in a strong footing, achieve something. I had a vision to grow. I left my own country, so I wanted to leave some legacy for me and for my kids. And now Ottawa is home.
So for me to receive a recognition of in Ottawa of an immigrant entrepreneur, it was very, very emotional. I mean, it was a great pleasure for me to receive this honor, but it was more about thinking and taking it in behalf or for all of the other people that came like me and immigrate to Canada and didn't have the opportunity to be selected.
The more people you meet, the more stories you hear, you start admiring just the strength and the depth of people that you wouldn't have expected.
What we do is to make people happy. And because we've been playing for so many cultures that we have to learn a couple different songs to please them, you know, and that's what it makes us happy.
Well, I think it's a sort of a recognition of immigrants, the immigrants community overall in Ottawa, what they have done for Ottawa, and as we see that overall Ottawa is significantly immigrant community, and we are seeing a lot of colored people in Ottawa, a lot of different races, different creeds. So now it's my desire to leave sort of a legacy behind, not only for them but for me as an Ottawa resident.
Canadians in general, we have a lot of stories to tell because we come from all over the world, and that gives us a really rich base to tell stories from, to share those ideas.
Just do it. There's lots of help. Get yourself a good mentor. Make sure that you have the right resources around you, i.e. good bankers, lawyers, accountants, and so on. Hire the best that you can afford, and maybe go a little bit higher than that as well. Having the most talented professionals around you just means that you're setting yourself up for success.
Find your passion, pursue it. Work hard, and if you love what you do, it's still work. When people say it's not work, it's still work, but it's going to pay off and you're going to be happy. You know, there's lots of communicators, there's lots of strong business people, but it comes down to, you know, work ethic and willing to put the time in.
Do your homework. Understand who your clients are, why they'd buy from you, create a service or product that there's a need for in the market. test it. When you don't succeed, change. So my biggest thing is really making sure that you understand where you're going, understand the numbers, know the product, understand the customer requirements, and then just go for it. It's going to take a lot of time, a lot of hard work, but when clients buy from you and see value in your service, it's a great feeling.
Yeah, I think it's about being really smart. You have limited time, you have limited funds, and you have limited brand awareness. So you have to be very, very smart in how you build and where you take small dollars and decide very strategically where you're going to put that money or that time or that focus.
As a mentor, when I'm talking about entrepreneurialism, I'm always encouraging whoever it is I'm speaking to be brave. You have to take risks. Now, they need to be calculated. You need to do your homework and make sure that you have cross-checked everything as thoroughly as you can. But entrepreneurialism is a combination of drive, research, and courage. I would say be brave. Don't take no for an answer. Go after what you want, because really and truly, it's a cliche, but anything's possible. You just have to work hard and go after it and don't give up.
I love what I do. I'm very passionate about it, and whether it's a young entrepreneur or an older entrepreneur, if I can help them and give advice, and it's making a little bit of a difference to them, then that's good. That's what I want to do. I just like helping people.
I manage and own Tag HR. It's a company that's been around for over 25 years, and we pride ourselves in being one of the top suppliers to particularly the federal government, but as well as a strong presence in the business community in private industry as well.
We're a full-service communications, marketing, and public affairs company based in Ottawa. We're constantly going on training courses, listening to podcasts, researching on the top marketing trends. You need to always learn. You need to never think you know everything, and kind of always be open to engaging in new trends and trying them out for clients.
Basically, we're a value-added IT reseller, and we service the Canadian federal government. And we actually specialize in the defense sector, so secret and top secret within the government as well.
I am the founder and CEO of Business Sherpa Group. And what we do is our team go into small and mid-sized organizations and essentially become the finance function or the HR function or the marketing function in small organizations where they wouldn't normally have that type of resource in place. So virtual CFOs through to bookkeepers, HR leaders, recruiters, etc.
We do all kinds of things here, but ultimately, I think the bottom line is we sell convenience to people who are working somehow connected to the political world. We do that through selling information and intelligence, which I can tell you a bit more about. We do it through events. We do it through all kinds of different ways, yeah, even podcasting and video.
Wisdom, initiative, skills, and experience. And what I do is I cater and advocate for the older entrepreneurs who are starting a business later in life. It's important because there's so many older people now, and they don't necessarily want to be retired. We're living longer, we're healthier, and in a lot of cases, we don't have the money to continue living the life we're accustomed to after retiring. And of course, another big thing, everyone at some point in their life has wanted to start a business, and now they have the time to do it.
I really believe in small business. I believe that small businesses, generate the bulk of our GDP and they're the drivers of our economic growth. So having them highly successful serves society. And so I can get to those really high lofty goals and values, which is this is good for society, it's good for Canada, it's good for job creation, it's good for youth who are trying to become engaged and enable the ability to really get these small businesses performing to their fullest potential has a greater good.
I think the most important factor is surrounding ourselves with very positive people who believe in what we do.
I couldn't do what I do without the people that I know in this city, so I find it an inspiring place to work.
Team is number one for me. At the end of the day, if I have a similar product or a service that somebody can buy, they buy from us because we are great, genuine people and that we actually care.
I love spending time talking, one-on-one with people and just hearing their stories and maybe helping out a little bit. But that's also the business owners. I absolutely thrive on hearing about their business journeys and their challenges, and being able to be very empathetic and understanding, because I'm also a business owner, of what they're going through, and just learning about them and helping them. So when all the stress starts amping up, I'll just get out and start talking to people, and I can just get into a nice, really comfortable zen, because that's what it was all about.
You really have to know your why. Why are you doing this? Why is it important to you? Why do you think people need your services?
Hard work kind of conquers everything, and you got to put the hours in, and the customer service again being so important. You win your customers one thing at a time. Just creating a real nice view of what we thought it should be.
Sometimes things don't go the way you want them to go when you develop new products, and it takes time. So it's important that you have staying power, and it's the little things when you're running a company that really wear on you. The big stuff will fall into place as long as you're around for that to happen.
If you're doing this for the money or the fame or the glory, it's the wrong reason to do it. Why do you want to start a business? What really is the motivation behind it? Because even if they say something like, I don't want to answer to anybody, I want to be in control of my own destiny, you don't really get that either as an entrepreneur, because every customer is your boss after that. You're on 24/7, so you really have to have a passion for what you're doing.
MediaStyle is a digital communications company, so we try and take a message that our client wants to get out to their stakeholders, and we assist them in doing so using a research-based approach. We believe that getting ideas out to make Canada a better place is fundamentally important to what we do and the clients that we work with.
We're also a B Corp, which means that it's not just about a fiscal bottom line, we also care about the environment and people. So everything that we do, we're really lucky we get to work on things that we feel passionate about and that make Ottawa and Canada a better place.
We are a gourmet hot dog joint with a beautiful view. We have the most panoramic view in the city. It's a very historic spot, and we sell great hot dogs, drinks, coffee, and have a lot of fun.
Our machines are based around a DC motor. This brings a different operating environment to people that use them, and that they can keep the tools cooler when they grind them, and they can grind different materials.
We're a designer dress rental business, and we rent designer dresses to women all across Canada so that they can go to fancy parties or even go out into their backyard and enjoy a great dress for up to 90% off the retail price.
Really, it's about being able to give back and being able to do the work that needs to be done to make Ottawa and Canada better. I think who you do business with is very important. Everybody that works here cares about the issues that we work on.
I'm really a big believer in Ottawa. The downtown core and this historic core that we have. It's such a beautiful city, and I just think there's more to do with it than what's being done, and it's starting now. And then for me, the most rewarding thing is to see people really enjoy the spot, enjoy their city, and enjoy what we do.
If it were easy, everybody would do it. So on those days that you really feel like you don't have another ounce to get out of bed to do something, I think it's just recognizing that that's the difference, is the getting up that one more time. Even though you get up and you might not win and overcome that challenge that day, it's the getting up that counts, and you have to try or you'll just never get over that obstacle. So I think just having some resiliency is probably the number one thing I would say entrepreneurs need to have, and that's the lesson I've taken from this.
Being able to have a profitable company that can then give back a considerable amount of time to help other organizations further their agenda, to me that's so rewarding. It proves that you can be a profitable company and give back.
I mean, this is an industry that is just all about working hard. I mean, there are long hours. We open early in the morning, late at night, and you just got to be there. Customer service is so important. You just got to be there and just stay on the important things, the small things that make your business grow.
I think that Ottawa really has this opportunity to continue to grow and be that that culturally diverse and creative community. Although Ottawa may be known as a government town, when you come in here as an entrepreneur, I see it as an entrepreneurial environment. There's a lot of great resources and a lot of great people doing things.
Believe in yourself and believe in your abilities, because that's what entrepreneurship is. It's bringing forth the best possible you and how that can serve other people. And in my case, it's holistic nutrition, it's healthy, wholesome food, but other people, everybody has something to offer. So it's just to identify what that is and to be able to capitalize on it and move forward.
It's amazing what opportunities you can seize when you just listen, right? Because initially they said, no, I said, no, we can't do that. And he says, no, you can. I'm like, okay, let's talk about, like, what does that mean, right? So
it's a lot of work. Yeah, you have to work night and day, but that's okay. I work pretty much 7 days a week. My office hours are 6:30 in the morning to 9:30 p.m. at night, 7 days a week that I answer the phone. And so, you know, it's just, if you want to have it your way, you have to invest the time to do it that way.
You try to make sure that you get involved in networking events that is going to bring value to yourself as well as your business. So you can't do everything, but you have to get out there and network and get your face out there, support each other through social media, come up with contests, and just give back to the community with the, like I mentioned earlier, the food drives or the clothing drives, and to help out the community. And that's what I think makes us successful as well.
We are a dedicated gluten, nut, and peanut-free facility producing a whole array of food for this type of industry.
This is all about life safety. I mean, that's the primary goal. So we design, manufacture, and service gas detection equipment for industrial and commercial settings. So places like parking garages, hospital labs, manufacturing facilities, anywhere where there might be a toxic combustible gas or an asphyxiant.
We do background screening, criminal background screening, submit fingerprints to the RCMP and to the FBI electronically. We do criminal background checks using name and date of birth.
You can't do everything. You know, you can try to be marketing and sales and accounting and all this kind of stuff, which is many hats that entrepreneurs wear. But, you know, I'm very fortunate to have a strong business partner, and, you know, we do different things. So my role is, you know, sales, customers, branding, marketing, but his role is productivity and the number crunching and the, you know, those kind of things. I just need to know the big picture, you know, but he's very good at defining the small nitty-gritty pictures. And, you know, it's important to find the right people to work with, to make sure you have a good budget set out and make sure you have a plan.
We kind of did everything ourselves until we got big enough to hire people. So it was fun to learn about, like, what do I like doing myself versus what am I not very good at and what do I need to pass on to other people.
Well, I think everybody here will sort of support each other. There's a blend of community here, from people from all over Canada come to Ottawa to find their adventure, their journey, their business, or whatever. And we're here to help each other. So that's I find Ottawa is not about trying to take advantage of somebody. We don't call it competitors. We call it helping each other. And we're here. There's enough business here that we can help each other and grow with the ever-changing climate in Ottawa.
So there's a lot of talent here. There's a lot of people that are trying to push new ideas, and it kind of developed its own community. So it's a pretty rich environment for entrepreneurs. I don't know if, you know, really another area in Canada that would have that depth.
I think you need to know that there's a lot of stuff that you won't know going into it. And so what you need to do is be comfortable with learning as you go. Like Rod said, we're trying to jump onto a horse that's running really quickly, and you don't want to knock it off. So
the thing is, like everybody says, you know, once you have an idea and you believe in it, you got to stick to it. You cannot give up, and you pursue it with all your passion and heart. And you know, in life there are more downs than ups, but you know, that should not distract you. So it's a tenacity and the perseverance, and keep on trying.
I'm motivated to leave lasting legacy to next generation entrepreneurs. I want to demonstrate that no matter what background or ethnicity you are, with working hard and focusing toward your goal, anything possible.
I'm doing this business because I really want to help people who have had cancer, mainly, or people who have lost their hair, who don't feel good about themselves. My idea is to help people remember they're still themselves. When I had cancer back in 2011, obviously I lost my hair through chemo, and I realized that the most important thing was to remember who you are, and not be with the identity of cancer, a big C on your on your head going around.
Since starting my business, the biggest lesson I've learned is understanding the importance of being passionate about your idea and weighing this passion against the reality that it may or may not be a viable idea. I feel that some people confuse passion with the romantic notion that no matter what people say, I will be successful, but the market ultimately decides whether they want your business or not. It's important to know when to call it quits and move to the next idea before it's too late.
We make what we call electronic warfare systems. So basically these are systems that are used in defense for sonar, radar, signal intelligence, and some test and measurements. And we service the front end, the sensor system side of the electronic warfare market. It's growing very, very significantly. I think it's very, very important for this country to be take a leadership role, particularly in some of these highly advanced technological areas.
We are a top quality printer, and we use the state-of-the-art technology with our printers, and we have in-house designer and top quality, great customer service.
It's such a huge difference maker to look normal and to not have the pitying looks that people give you. Oh, you've got cancer. You don't need that. You need to feel normal. You need to feel like you're still yourself. A good 80% have ended up with tears in their eyes and saying they feel so much better, and they didn't realize they could feel this much better.
Most rewarding when I see the customers are happy when you bring in the idea in a life. For example, they have an idea to open a business and they don't have logo or they don't have any print material, so we bring in the idea to the computer through our design phase, and from the design first we bring it on a paper or banner, and when you see the reaction from the customer when they see the idea came to life, is the most rewarding.
Despite Ottawa's small size, we're a very developed city. Ottawa's small size also makes it easier for people to meet face-to-face more often than if we lived in a larger city like Toronto. There are both benefits to having coffee with someone you're meeting for the first time in a local cafe, as opposed to being forced to rely on a Skype call all the time. It's the little interactions like this that make being an entrepreneur so compelling and fun here in Ottawa.
As an entrepreneur, you not only are trying to build something, okay? As an entrepreneur, you try to create wealth. When you're trying to create wealth, you need a right environment. You need a vibrant city. As an entrepreneur, I need good people to work for the company. And to attract these people, we have to have a good civic services, municipal services, kind of ecological system you have to develop. I mean, you cannot just grow alone.
This is the community we live in, right? It's the people that we deal with day in, day out that are here. And my clients that I have are my neighbors. They're my friends, you know, they're people that I'm going to meet in and around, you know. And that's the kind of feel I like. This is the type of business I want to run.
People want the whole experience. They don't just want a cup of coffee when they go out. They want to be able to sit down and have something to eat and to enjoy their surroundings and have a kind of a community space outside of their home. So creating in our cafes an environment that's a real home away from home has been important to us as well.
We provide a full range of information technology services as well as engineering consulting services. We also do a lot of research and development. Not only you have to run business successfully, you have to be socially responsible. Okay, and I try to do wherever I can, so I'm very much involved in professional activity. Also, I'm involved with a lot of charities.
Successful Days shows me that when I've got, you know, the house is full with all the cars coming in, and then they leave with a smile and everybody's happy. So when it's clean and you see that it goes back, you know, clean, there's a smile there. There's an appreciation. And I never take money before I tell them to go take a look at their car. And if there's something that still needs to be done, I do it before I even take the money, you know. And that's just to show good faith that, you know, like I'm doing my job, because I'm not here just for the money. I'm here for the satisfaction of the customers and making sure that they're number one. You know, they are the ones that I'm catering to. They are my driving force for the success of my business.
We Equator stands for a couple of things. One, it's that all coffee grows right around the band of the equator. So Central, South America, Indonesia, Africa. But it's also because we're a fair trade coffee company, we want to equal out the benefit to everybody who's participating in this business with us. So farmers that produce it, the environment, our staff, and the customers are all equal, and we treat everybody with the same respect and honor that they deserve. And it makes a huge difference to be taking that much care in how it's actually produced, right from the bean all the way into the cup.
It's the challenges and the things that you persevere through that make the view from the top the best. For me, the way I see it is, yeah, sometimes things can be challenging. You're not always going to do everything 100%. You're not always going to get everything right the first time. But if you did, that success wouldn't really be as valuable.
You have to adapt. Things will not work, but then you have to adapt.
And then trial and error. I mean, if it doesn't work, you switch to something else, right?
One small step every day, even if it's just one phone call, one email, because certainly some days not everyone feels motivated, but as long as you just keep the faith and be courageous and one foot in front of the other every day. My business is a gluten-free, dairy-free nutritional bar.
I delve into the functional medicine side, which is predominantly women's hormones. I do deal with men as well. It is thyroid, Hashimoto's, autoimmune disease focused. We look at gut health and all of the foundational aspects.
GoFree is a mobile app for individuals with food allergies or dietary restrictions. It allows them to easily and effectively manage their diet during one of the most challenging times for anyone with a food allergy, which is dining out. The user will come in, create a profile, and they will save their allergies. So for myself, it's tree nuts and gluten. And then the user, the same way you would search through Google Maps or the iMap app on your iPhone, you would search for restaurants near your geographical location. GoFree would then filter through all of those restaurants through your allergies. It'll only show you the restaurants that are safe for you to eat at. But we take it one step further. We create a personalized menu for you so that you can actually see each item that you're able to eat. So not only are you guaranteeing that there's something that you can eat when you walk into the restaurant, we're also guaranteeing that there's something that you'll enjoy.
It actually enables hospitals to send people home. These people are consuming beds in the hospitals, and now these people can go home and still be cared medically, and their safety is all cared for when they go home. So motivation comes from believing in the problem and believing that you're doing the right thing. Nothing else motivates you.
Never give up. You're going to have great days and you're going to have really crappy days. And you know what? Just know that when you're having a crappy day, it's going to go back up again. You'll be fine. You're going to get people that are going to love you. You're going to get people that are going to hate you. Don't worry about the ones that hate you. Focus on the ones that love you. Focus on doing what you're passionate about, always learning, and really put your head to the grind, and you'll make it.
Keep talking about what you're passionate about. Make contacts. Take every opportunity to speak to anyone that you can, because one of my mottos and my beliefs in life is you never know who you're talking to.
The city itself has put a huge push into entrepreneurship innovation. There's just a lot of opportunity, and it's just going and taking it. Everyone wants to help out. Everyone wants to see you succeed. You just have to make the first step and go and find the person that's going to help you out. There's going to be obstacles along the way, but as long as you keep working towards it and as long as you keep pushing, there's no reason you can't succeed.
Entrepreneurship is a long road, right? And if people are going after it for a wrong reason, they're going to get tired. If they want to stay on this, I think we have to be on it for the right reason.
I believe that if something inspires you and you're passionate about it, why not jump in, learn all you can, and share it with the world?
Really, you're just one person. Right, so the strength of your company, the strength of your business really depends on the team that you build. There is no right or wrong time to be an entrepreneur. You should start as soon as you can. The sooner you start your business, start your venture, the sooner you'll start to learn and the sooner you'll get to your goals.
The fact that you're doing something good for the community that is meaningful, that give us, that extra motivation and that kind of high, when you see results and people is appreciative of what you do.
Sticking to it, definitely.
making progress too. It's not only sticking to it, it's seeing that you're making visible progress and stuff as well. I find a lot of people probably working full-time and stuff like that, they don't always enjoy what they're doing, and they're like, yeah, I want to go and start my own business. And I've been there, and my first piece of advice to someone like that is don't give up your day job too soon. However, to be successful, you're going to have to go all in. So those are your kind of two bookends of making your decision on how do you start.
We know that we have an idea of how we want to get something done. We know that the individuals that we have to choose from have skills that will lend to all of those things. They know that, and we just kind of blow in the sails and the ship moves along.
So Gripe, we are a digital strategy and development agency. So we build enterprise web-based solutions for our clients. That whenever you're trying to sell a solution or sell a service to someone, the one thing that is most important is who are you doing it for?
My wife and I both are physiotherapists, so we decided to become entrepreneurs. Having the freedom and be your own boss is great because you don't have to be accountable to a second person. So based on your experience and your knowledge, you can tailor things, the way that you like.
I used to work as an independent consultant. I would meet with my customers in coffee shops. The challenge was there was nowhere to meet at the time. Like, you could meet at a coffee shop or your house, which probably wasn't the best place to meet. So part of the idea for the Code Factory came from that, having a place where people could meet and be private, because while coffee shops are great to meet in, you don't always know who's sitting beside you and overhearing your conversations.
House of Tar kind of existed as an underground venue before this place. And what was just a jam space for a bunch of bands eventually turned into a little underground arcade and then an underground music venue. That got to be a little bit too busy for us to keep as an underground thing, and we either shut it down or went legit, and it was going too well to quit. We make sure that whatever we're doing that particular day has had all of the effort we can put into it to make it happen, and if that sees fruition, fantastic. If not, well, what did we do wrong? We'll try something else. That's our success. Constantly not worrying about success and worrying about what to do next.
There's always new stuff to learn. There's always new boundaries to push. Success is kind of a moving target. Once you get there, there's always a little more that you want to achieve.
Many people just think about being an entrepreneur, but they don't take the leap. They think it's not the right time. They think there will be too many obstacles. My recommendation would be, if you have an idea, if you have something, just go out there and do it. Just go out there and do it. Like, until you do that, you won't know what's on the other side.
Well, I think we really are a city of creators here. So there's a lot of people around you who can support you. It's a very nurturing community. You shouldn't be afraid to reach out to other people, look what they're doing. Don't be afraid to pick up the phone, have a coffee with them at Bridgehead and say, I want to do what you're doing, and how do I do it?
Ask people for help. So whether that's friends and family or just the staff to help out and to get everyone's input on things they think will improve the business, ideas they have for doing new and cool, exciting things, and ways to improve what we're doing has been probably the number one thing that we've tried to get better at.
Often entrepreneurs are the drivers of innovation and progression. It's great to be an entrepreneur in Ottawa, and particularly right now with the spotlight on Ottawa. If you have a winner, people will know about you, and they will help you, and they want to see local businesses thrive. We had a very unique opportunity to really take advantage of that and make sure that we're contributing to the landscape.
I think that what we're building here is something that will be looked upon by people in the future as a place where it all started.
It gives people a chance to do something that's fun, that's interactive, that's local, that's inexpensive, and people have responded really well to it.
Company is a school in the glebe, and we have about 250 students per week. We do all ranges of different kinds of performing arts. We do theater, we do film and television acting, we do improv, we have programs for senior citizens during the day, and we have programs for youth after school, and we have about 250 students coming through the school every week, and we've been here for celebrating our 4th year.
Escape Manor, what we do is we lock people up for fun, and essentially they are challenged to escape a room within an allotted amount of time by solving a series of puzzles and challenges.
A full-service restaurant with over 1,000 games for people to play while they sit and eat and drink.
I invented Sage Tea about 10 years ago, and what it is a way of simplifying the process of making software. It eliminates the coding work that's needed to make a customized piece of software, and it offers amazing new value to millions of people who all want software.
There's a real sort of buzz and energy to the room that's above and beyond like a boring, quiet game being played. So when you hear like 200 people on a Friday night having fun, it's a lot of fun.
As a creative person, as an artist, I find business very creative too. You know, I enjoy this part of it. It just takes an enormous amount of work. I mean, there's just so much building to do, and it requires you know, an area of expertise in all kinds of things that you didn't think you would have to know about. And I think you've got to be hopeful and you've got to be very positive.
You really need a logical brain. So we try and get as many really cool, off-the-wall, wacky ideas in the mix, because you can have really cool, great, grandiose sets and ideas, but if it doesn't all really connect to that overarching storyline, then it's really lost.
There are tons of high-tech companies here in Ottawa. It's a great community, and I think the community works hard to support its members. It's a really fertile environment for launching a business.
I think you have to have a very high risk tolerance. Being an entrepreneur, like people assume that I'm loaded, right? Everybody assumes that because they see our beer everywhere, because they see our soda everywhere, that I'm riding a nice car and my mortgage is paid off and life is good. I was the lowest paid employee in my business for 5 years.
We're actually into a second generation. My current partner is my late partner's son, which is kind of a really cool thing, because you have the experience with the guy with the white hair, right? And then you have the young 40-year-old guy who is the symbol of the future.
Seeing the big smile on clients and guests' face when they come back after a tour and they say this was the best experience that they had. So it's just so rewarding and refreshing to see that every day. They go for a ride and they come back and they're like, wow, that was great.
It was more of just kind of like a for fun thing. We did a few gigs here and there, and then there was just sort of a progression of people inquiring about events, and then it became more of a thing, and about a year after that we incorporated the business and it became full-time, and it's been growing by leaps and bounds ever since.
We are a brewery that makes lots of yummy beers as well as soda pop. People always say describe your beer in one word, and the word is balanced. Balance of flavor, aroma, and bitterness. So I love the fact we're very consistent in the products that we present to the customers.
District Realty is property management, commercial brokerage. We're kind of a multifaceted organization.
We provide guided bicycle tours of Ottawa and also bike rental for tourists and visitors. I used to bicycle as a girl, and when I was 11, because I was living in Iran, I was told that I couldn't bike anymore. So I always wanted to bike again. So when I came to Canada, it was my escape. Bicycling was my escape.
We cater all sorts of different events in the greater Ottawa area, anything from weddings to big corporate galas to house parties and everything in between. All the people that I get to work with that are sort of part of this group, I'm really fortunate to have all these people with me. There's so much talent that is within this company. Ask for help. Find people that are in your industry that have been successful and reach out to them. I found that in my experience, probably 95% of people that I've reached out to that don't know me from a hole in the wall are more than willing to sit down with me and have a coffee. And the connections that I've made from doing those sorts of activities are really invaluable.
The beer scene in Ottawa is definitely emerging. 7 years ago when we started up, there was just ourselves and one other brewery in town. seeing a lot of great breweries opening up, a lot of really good beer coming into the scene, a lot of really unique styles. So it's definitely come a long way, and I think it's still going to continue to go a long way. We have had breweries come to us and say, look, we want to start out and see them be successful. So we're very happy to be part of the entrepreneurial community in the city, and happy to see where it's going to go next.
It's the only way I could ever be truly myself is running my own business. So I'm not living somebody else's value set or somebody else's vision. I'm not having to articulate a message in the way that somebody else designed it. It's completely honestly from who you are as a person. And that, for me, is why it's so enjoyable.
C'est de voir que quelque chose que j'ai commencé chez nous, dans mon sous-sol, peut maintenant apporter de l'argent et du confort à d'autres personnes.
Being open-minded and not being so emotionally attached to any idea, and just being open and I would say being accepting of things that can come up and being okay with that, being okay with changes. That also helps with the success.
I mean, I guess the one thing that strikes me is I've scarily enough now been 19 years running as an entrepreneur here, and I have watched quite a very interesting evolution happen in the city in terms of entrepreneurship.
If you look at small to mid-sized private companies, people typically are the key ingredient in success. So we help them find the business critical hires so they can continue to grow and scale their companies.
Donc on offre des vêtements sur mesure et puis on offre d'autres services qui ont à faire avec la mode, avec le style.
Devona is a social impact perfume company that empowers women who are struggling with abuse and poverty and trafficking. You know, the smell is tied to memories quite a bit, and it's a very powerful connection. The way it works is that our perfume, we have a lineup of 12, and through a quiz you choose the one you like, and with that purchase $2 goes towards a care package that we put together, and then we ship that over to our nonprofits, and then they give that to the women in need.
We specialize in providing custom mapping services and distribution services for the publishing industry to bring out their products around the world, here in Canada, but especially internationally in the UK, Australia, US. So we're a technology company that makes all that happen. We work with a lot of traditional publishers, guys like National Geographic and the Ordnance Survey and others, sort of iconic brands around the world, but in helping them in sort of digital transformation for what they do.
It stops being a job and it starts being a lifestyle when you're running your own business. And so you learn just to take a step back and a deep breath when things are not going the way you wanted, or you see a hurdle or a roadblock. And you learn that as a new company, you've got an awful lot to prove credibility and to earn the trust of people as well.
Donc c'est vraiment de voir un projet se concrétiser. Je trouve ça fabuleux de voir quelque chose grandir devant mes yeux.
I've had the luxury of being able to meet some amazing people and build some incredible friendships around the world.
It's not hard to stay motivated because this is our passion. I mean, we're building something completely in the identity of who we are and what we care about when it comes to recruitment.
You cannot do everything by yourself. You have to be comfortable delegating, and you have to have a proper team around you.
On le sait pas quand on est plus jeune, on sait pas pourquoi que on veut pas nécessairement écouter les autres, qu'on veut faire à notre tête, qu'on s'en rend compte petit peu par petit peu. Donc, je crois énormément au système de mentorat, qu'on ait des personnes avec de l'expérience jumelées avec des personnes qui ont du drive. Mélangés ensemble, il n'y a rien qui peut les arrêter. Moi, je me rappelle, quand j'ai commencé, il n'y a personne qui voulait travailler avec moi. J'étais la petite nouvelle. Bon, ben, j'ai commencé mes propres défilés, puis j'ai invité les autres qui ne se faisaient pas inviter. Ça grandit, ça crée un réseau, un network, puis une communauté qui est beaucoup plus forte puis qui s'entraide.
I think Ottawa is definitely one of the the hottest technology markets in Canada. We've seen it grow and transform itself in a remarkable way.
Ottawa, I think, is different than some other cities by the willingness of the entrepreneurs and business people in general, and in fact everybody in the city, to collaborate.
You can make a lot of very good connections and know the city and know the other players and get to know them very well, which I've had the opportunity to do. At the same time, it's located and has very diverse connections to the rest of the world, which really allows you to have an international business out of Ottawa.
Ottawa is underestimated. Ottawa has the right characteristics and environment so that we can lead.
you know, it's that dedication, that commitment, and that narrow scope that really kind of defines who we are in the community. The Business Journal dates back almost 23 years now, and over that time the Business Journal has really been kind of the leading voice in terms of capturing business news and business data in Ottawa.
We have such a wonderful team here at Stratford, great people, wonderful to work with. We also have fantastic clients that we work with. We work with some of the top companies in Ottawa. By combining their skills with our skills, we end up creating an environment where our clients can accelerate their growth and improve their profitability.
You know, with most technologies, what you want to do is, you know, improve people's lives. And we believe that this is a way of substantially improving the relationship that people have with the people that supply them products and make life better for everyone.
So we develop this technology, you know, developed by InBay, is trying to provide trust as a service.
We were not very rich, we were not able to pay very high, but we got good people to work with us.
We have a way, unlike a lot of other media companies, of coming face to face with our readers and interacting with them. In fact, these days we have almost 50 business events, so that's almost an event every week. So we're bumping into our audience, we're talking to them and engaging them directly.
You know, as an entrepreneur, if you're passionate about what you're doing and you work hard at it, and you've got a vision for what you're trying to create, that alone will attract the kind of people that you would want to work with in pursuit of that passion and in pursuit of that vision.
You have to be crazy to be an entrepreneur because you have to have a split brain, and that at half the time you've got to be so convinced you're right that you'll run through walls and you'll just, like, you know, but then you have to every once in a while stop, slap yourself in the face and say, okay, what's reality here? You know, when is this thing gone? You know, what's the fundamentals that have, you know, have they shifted?
You know, once people love something, they don't care how much they can get back. If you believe that's true, you will do and make it to the success, you know.
One of the things that I do is I chair the board at CHIO, and CHIO is a fantastic organization, and I'd say that part of the reason that the organization has been successful is because of the contributions, the voluntary contributions that people have made at the board level and elsewhere within CHIO. The entrepreneurial community in Ottawa has been a key contributor to the successes of our public institutions like CHIO. To be successful, you have to be passionate about what you do, you have to be able to create value for your customers, and pretty much no matter what, you have to be willing to work hard at it.
Be bold, even if it means that you fail, because you can always come back for a second day and learn those lessons.
Because of the celebrations of Ottawa 2017, the city decided that they needed not only to focus on downtown, but to focus on businesses like ours, that there's a lot to see outside of the city, in the rural areas of Ottawa.
I think that we have variety in everything here. We're not sort of localized to one sort of style of business. You know, some places you go where it's all industry, and then, you know, here I find that we're very diverse. We have, you know, many different cultures and many different businesses on the go.
And it's just a way for the community to kind of learn about beekeeping a little bit, support urban apiculture.
And to know where your honey is coming from. Like these beehives, you know the honey's coming right from here. There's not a lot of huge monocrop around here. It's just wildflowers and trees and delicious honey.
Venez nous voir, venez nous demander puis les questions délicates. Les questions qui te font mal au cœur, ou qu'on ne comprend pas le pourquoi, puis nous autres, on peut apprendre de vous, autant que vous pouvez apprendre de nous autres. So, c'est ça que j'aimerais que le message, venez voir les agriculteurs à la ferme. We are a 200-acre retreat for weddings, meetings, special events, and more recently for spa and wellness.
We do horseback riding, trail riding, lessons. We have a day camp program as well. We have many good horses and ponies, well trained, and we like to horse around and have fun here.
We bring beehives to backyards and rooftops across Ottawa. Our mission is to teach people about beekeeping and try and sort of bring back backyard beekeeping sort of share that knowledge with people. So all of our honey is coming from, you know, backyards and sort of all across Ottawa, and it's unpasteurized. Here we're at Wesley Clover Parks, where we have a community-supported pollination project where people around Ottawa, they can buy a share in a beehive and receive a year's supply of honey, and then and come and meet their bees in September when the harvest is ready.
Maintenant, nous sommes dans la grande culture, qui est le cash crop. Et notre deuxième partie de notre ferme, c'est la partie des lapins. Parce que encore le père de mon mari, Michel Dignard, son père Hector, il a fait de la production de lapins quand il était jeune. So lui avait beaucoup d'expérience.
We've been in business over 38 years. My mom and dad bought Strathmere in 1978, still a family business. I've been really privileged to have that support from my family. And then having the next generation coming up working with me, they're incredible, and you know, they're the next thing.
I'm proud of my family, my boys and I. We've, you know, done a nice job. We started with not much here, and we've built it all with the people around us. And, you know, I'm really proud of my students. Every time we go anywhere, I get great compliments. It's so fun to see the kids and they, you know, their first experience on a horse. It's always a pleasure to watch them.
If there's something you're really passionate about doing, try to find a way to go out and do it. Don't waste your time sitting at a job you don't want to be at for the rest of your life. Just go out and enjoy yourself.
Quand c'est en famille, c'est plus personnel, c'est plus délicat. C'est ça les obstacles de la business, mais on est pareil.
You need a real support system around you. You gotta love what you do. You gotta take risks, and people think you're crazy, and you have sleepless nights, but it's an entrepreneur.
I'm Natalie. And I'm Natalie. And we're two Carleton University students who have been granted the privilege of working on this project through the initiative of MDK Business Law and TIE Ottawa. We've been given the opportunity to interview over 100 entrepreneurs across the city, and we couldn't be more grateful.
It was absolutely an incredible experience for us to be able to use what we've learned in the classroom as well as learn new things that we most likely wouldn't have learned in the classroom.
Entrepreneurs are a community of people who work day in and day out, and through this experience I've learned how much they really have shaped the city. They're leaders, they're go-getters, and they're really innovators.
For me, it was just incredible to realize how creative a city Ottawa is, with the way that the perception is Ottawa is a government town. There's no creativity, it's all black and white. But there's so much gray. There's incredible amounts of gray. You can see that from the boardroom all the way to the mom and pop shops.
I feel so lucky to have met these people and to have had this experience and to have seen the city and learned so much about a range of fields and industries. Thank you, Ottawa entrepreneurs, for telling us your stories.
Thank you.